ladies and gentlemen. I believe it has been 10 days since I last spoke into this microphone, and I feel like so much has happened from 4th of July to a couple MLW series being played, from the Eagles Cobras upload to meeting Dude Perfect to the MLW All-Star Day. Just been an absolute whirlwind. I feel like I've aged at least 5 years in that time span, but going to be a good pod today. Good cast of characters today on set and joining us virtually, so going to be a lot of fun. But this is the Pipe It Up podcast. Cue the intro. Jack, how we doing? How we doing, Jack?
Oh man, we're doing great, Tom. Happy to be on the pod here, virtual tonight.
I know, another virtual pod. We've been bad. Oh, this one was a little bit out of our control, but we've had some bad habits lately, I feel like.
You know what? We're just adapting on the fly, and we're pushing content out every week, regardless, and that's what we're doing. And so we're sticking to it.
Literally couldn't be more on the fly. But yesterday was a long day. We wanted to record a pod post All-Star Day, but by the time I was home, it was like 11 p.m., so that just wasn't happening. But here we are again, and like I told you guys last pod, if it kills me, we're going to get a pod up every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. So we're delivering now a day prior. And it
may kill him.
It may kill me. It may kill me. But I got Ryan Kracht to my left. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. And then across from me in today's guest chair, we have Blade Walker of the Eastern Eagles coming fresh off of a series dub. Big dub for the Eagles, too.
Awesome to be here. Thank you.
A fist away from the microphone, Blade. Fist away.
Sorry.
There he
don't
is.
sound so excited to be on the pod, Ryan. What was that?
Me?
Yeah.
What did I do? I said I'm happy to be here.
All I heard was, really happy to be here.
You heard that from Ryan, and then from Blade you heard, so we're working on them. We got a lot of new faces in the pod. When's the last time you were on the pod in person? Since before COVID?
No. I've been on the pod. I was on the pod. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was on the pod last season.
Okay. I don't remember you.
Actually, in person?
Yeah, like
it
actually
might have been,
face-to-face.
in person.
Yeah.
I think it's been a solid 3 years, buddy.
I think people, we were just talking about this. I think people forget me and Drew Davis started Pipe It Up way back. Well, we didn't start it, but we were the first host of Pipe It Up way back when. So, yeah, right before COVID. So I haven't done this in person in a long time.
Blade Walker, is this your first pod appearance ever?
Yeah.
Wow. First pod appearance of all time. Round of applause for Blade Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Good for you, young man. Good for you. He drove over an hour to be here, too. Shows a lot of dedication. I respect that.
It was a fun drive.
It's a hustle.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good. Was it scenic?
No,
the drive.
There's a lot of construction.
It sounds like
Sounds about right.
A lot of orange barrels around these parts
Great
nowadays. More than ever, I swear to you.
Yep.
But, of course, wanted to have Blade on to discuss the series. Me and Ryan had the chance to meet Dude Perfect on Friday, which was pretty sweet. Want to talk about that, Ryan. Just what are your initial thoughts of that whole experience?
Oh, well, I mean, it was crazy. Way back when I first, clicked on YouTube on my iPod Touch when it was like that little brown television.
The brown TV icon, classic.
Dude Perfect was one of the first videos I ever watched, and it was one of the main things that got me into YouTube. So it was really exciting to actually, see them. I consider these guys idols. I grew up watching them. My mom always said to me, "Are you watching Dude Perfect again?" Because, I'd get home from school, I'd grab a bowl of cereal, and I'd turn on some Dude Perfect, and that was my life for a long time. So it was really cool to meet him.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
That's awesome. I wanted to ask you guys, because I was curious, if you could just give the listeners some insight as to what exactly what they could expect at a Dude Perfect show if they bought some tickets to go see them, because I was really curious as to what that even looked like.
Yeah, I think a lot of us were. I had a pretty good sense. YouTube did a documentary on them probably 3 years ago now. Yep. I think it was during COVID. Mm-hmm. And that gave a pretty good sense of what it's like. But for those of you who do watch Dude Perfect videos, I know Ryan does, Blade, I'm sure you do from time to time. Essentially, think about two of their main videos that are not like directly trick shots. They do their battle videos, and then they do their overtime videos. So picture about an hour and a half to 2 hour show where throughout the entire duration of the show is a battle. So they'll do like one segment of the battle and eliminate a guy. Then between that event of the battle and the next event of the battle, where it's down to 4 guys instead of 5, they'll do like an overtime segment, like a get crafty or a cool, not cool, that kind of thing. And then after that segment, they'll go back to the battle, back to an overtime segment, battle, overtime. So it kind of alternated segments of the show with little pauses in between. And in between each little segment probably had like a 2 to 3 minute break when they changed the sets of the stage. And they'd show like exclusive content or like an upcoming video, like an upcoming trick shot that hasn't been released yet, all that kind of stuff. So it was a pretty good experience of like a hybrid between of what you see on YouTube, but also like new exciting elements live, like a live battle. Like that's pretty new, and seeing them actually do pretty impressive stuff. In person, 100%. Like limited tries was pretty 100%. Sweet.
Yeah, the trick shots that they were hitting, they use bigger targets obviously because they have to hit it. In such a short time, but it was very impressive. Yeah, they were nailing like pretty much full court shots. But I mean, obviously the rim's a little bigger, and yeah, it was really cool. I enjoyed it very much.
Same. I will say I got to give one final shout out to Sparky. He's our guy now.
Yeah.
Just really cool from. I sent a cold DM to him from my personal Instagram account that only has 2,000 followers last year in probably July or August. And then months later, he saw it, responded, said he actually watched our stuff, to then like interacting with me a little bit there, to then coming on the podcast, then to inviting us to the show for a meet and greet. Like, he's done a lot for us, which is so cool, and just a great dude. It was cool. I knew he was a Norp fan, right, Jack, from our podcast?
Big Norp fan.
So we were just in the like general meet and greet line, right? Sparky texted me and he's like, if you're there by this time, just get in the line. Like you'll be there with plenty of time and you can meet the guys and meet me. So I was like, sounds good. So we were just in the line of normal people, which was mostly like kids that were a third of my age. I was like, God, I feel so old right now. But so we're in line and we get to near the front and I'm like, Jim, you go in first, and like tap Sparky on the shoulder. So I like pushed Jim through the curtain first, and then he said, what's up to Sparky? And Sparky made a joke because, so inside scoop a little bit here. So he got us 4 tickets, and I wanted to be respectful to both Jack and Jorgensen because they helped us out with that Sparky interview that day. Of course, Jack was asking questions and we had Jorgie behind the camera. So I wanted Kyle, myself, Jorgie, and Jack to be the first 4 guys to get to go at tickets. But I knew Sparky was a Norp fan. He said he's the biggest Norp fan, favorite ball player. He made that joke. So I texted him. I was like, I hate to ask this, but I was like, anyway, you get one more ticket for Norp? I was like, I know you're a Norp guy, so thought I'd ask. He's like, oh yeah, for Norp, no problem. I'll get you one more ticket. So we sent Norp in first, and then Jack, you unfortunately couldn't make it. So then Ryan.
Yeah, I owe you a huge
Ryan
thank you, Jack.
the last ticket.
No
I got
problem.
the charity ticket, but I couldn't be more excited.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I had a really good time. I actually got the merch on right now for those who are watching.
He does.
Love it.
And I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I could make a whole episode about this, honestly, but I will say, too, that I was, like, entertained from the show. I was worried it'd be, like, a little bit more geared towards the younger audience, which is the majority of their audience. But the way that those guys, like, their dialect and the way they speak to the kids they bring on stage, like, I found myself laughing throughout 100%. The entire show. I think I reminded me a lot of myself because I feel like whenever I'm around a young fan, right? So say a kid's like 8 or 9 years old asking me for an autograph at an MLW event, I'll usually like crack a joke that like the kid will just kind of stare at me awkwardly, and then the parents behind him will like die laughing. But it was the same way to where there was these kids on stage that were super young, and Ty was roasting them, and like the kids weren't reacting, and I was just dying laughing in the crowd.
It was Ned Forrester when he came out. It was Ned Forrester, yes. It wasn't Ty.
It was not Ty. It was Ned Forrester,
right?
But so I related to that a lot, and stuff like that definitely appealed to, I think, a lot of the parents that were there and a lot of guys like us that were there.
Definitely.
So overall, great show. If you are a fan of the videos, even if you're older like me, I don't think you'll regret buying a ticket and going to check it out. And meeting Sparky was awesome. Meeting the rest of the crew was awesome. But just seeing the genuine love and appreciation from Sparky was one of the highlights of the night.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. Yeah, huge shout out to Sparky.
Massive shout out to Sparky. Yeah. But you want to talk Eagles Cobras, Jack?
Yeah, let's do it. We're joined by Blade, who had a fantastic series along with the rest of the Eagles. Blade, again, welcome to the podcast, first timer. Very happy to have you. How are we feeling today overall about the Eagles Cobras series?
It's good. It's good to have a bounce back series and be back where we want to be.
Short and sweet. I love it. He's
attaboy. Attaboy.
Well, Blade, it's I did not expect you guys to be 4-5, to be honest, after that series. Things were looking quite grim for the Eagles, leaving Detroit 1-5. When you see the old perception I had of Blade Walker taking the mound there in Detroit, it was like, oh boy, like buckle up for a long year here for the Eagles. This is bad. Dallas is hurt. Dan can't find the zone. Like the wheels were off the bus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was bad. It was very bad. So at that point, you guys lost 10-0 there at Wayne State. What was the energy and the vibe like for the Eagles between that day and taking the field against the Cobras like 2 weeks later?
Yeah, like you said, the wheels were off the bus. There was no wheels turning. We were kind of stuck. There was really nothing to say. Like nobody could be like, we'll bounce back. We'll be fine because we just got shut out. We got perfect gamed.
Almost perfect game.
Almost, yeah.
We had one
Almost.
strike left,
Yes.
and luckily Zach did something. But I think it was kind of like a team shutdown. We didn't really talk much. I mean, like me and Dallas talked because we had seen each other. Me and Landon, me and Carson a little bit, just because we talked. But like overall, we didn't talk much as a team, and kind of just shut down. But I think that was good for us because we kind of focused on each other, focused on what we needed to do better, and came out and played really well. I mean, got everything working and did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, like I said, it shocked me. I mean, in a good way. I was happy to see, of course, I've gotten to know you and Dallas better over the years, and seeing my old pal Dan struggle was painful to watch in Detroit. So I was happy to see you guys bounce back. I genuinely was. Despite it not being great for us in the standings, I was happy to see the Eagles bounce back.
Me too.
Blade, I gotta ask, your experience in the league here, you're kind of known as an energy guy, I would say, overall. Always picking the guys up, like a good time just at the Meadows in general.
Just a good time.
During that Detroit series, when it seemed like everything was just falling apart, were you kind of struggling to play that role of like picking the guys up at all?
Yes and no. I mean, like, it sucks. You look at the field, you look at what's happening on the scoreboard, and it's like, wow, this is not good. But you also look further than the scoreboard, look at what's around you, look at the people around you, and realize it's a blessing to be there, blessing to be with all my friends. So, like, even though I hate Jimmy Norp when I'm on the field, and he just continues to dominate us, he's still a great guy. Same thing with the rest of the D-backs, and love to be around the boys from the Eagles, of course. But and Tom and Kyle, they always make it a good time. But so, I mean, yes and no. Like I said, it's hard when you're losing bad, but just to be there is just so fun, and be around the people and the kids that were there. It was really fun.
Jimmy Norp eats farts, as Blade once said, famously.
Still eats farts.
Jimmy Norp still eats farts. Speaking of Dallas, your old buddy, how was it to see him bounce back on the mound and at the plate? Big series for him.
It was good. Not only, at the wiffle ball field, but baseball, he kind of bounced back. But
oh, sweet.
Yeah, he it's nice to see him bounce back. It was like something we needed, and he's kind of our leader on the field in play, and so seeing him dominate and really have control over the zone and control at the plate, that was big for us, and we really needed a leader to step up, and he did exactly that.
I think Dallas even had an Instagram post in between the Detroit series being played and the Eagles Cobras series being played. I can't remember exactly what the caption was. I'll pop it up on screen right now, but it seemed like he had that chip on his shoulder going into this series, and it seemed like the old Cy Young Dallas was kind of back, the Cy Young contender we knew from last year.
I don't know what his Instagram post was, but he said it was cool. So I forgot what it was.
He said it was cool.
I feel like
he said it was something along the lines of like trust the process, or
yeah, it was
some similar type mantra there. Mm-hmm. But we're all about honesty here on the Pipe It Up podcast, Blade, which you'll learn soon enough. So I want to know, going in, you guys are so low after that Detroit series, and going into the series against the Cobras, to see Dallas play the way he did, was that what you were expecting of him to do, or were you pretty surprised at how efficient he was on the mound and at the plate too, obviously?
Yeah, no. I mean, I know Dallas. I mean, that's the dude I practice with, play with all the time. So obviously, it's not very often you get a bad Dal. And so I was kind of expecting a good series.
A bad Dal.
I was expecting something good from him, and that's exactly what we got. And it's just big for him to bounce back. And on the mound and then at the plate, I knew he's seen Barron pretty well. And we played with Sawyer in Illinois, so obviously we can't see his full repertoire, but we got a few things in there. Mm-hmm. And so I had confidence our whole team was going to bounce back, and I had a big feeling for Dal, and he pulled through.
Mm-hmm. Anything you want to chime in right now?
No, I mean, it's good to see that, especially for the young guys in this league. Dallas and Blade, you guys will go through a lot of struggles. They say baseball is a game of failure, but wiffle ball has a lot more failure than baseball does.
Is it ever?
It's impossible to find perfection. So to see the young guys, push through adversity is really cool. Especially for us older guys who have been around and have seen so many downfalls and so many, uprising moments like Dallas had in the last series.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just knowing Dan for so long and seeing Dallas have a tough outing in the playoffs, and then he's hurt. I felt bad. I know what it's like to be an athlete. Getting injured sucks, and it wasn't that long ago where I was the same age as Dallas is right now, and I know what it's like, the highs and lows of that. So good to see him bounce back. I feel for the Cobras too losing. I've been talking about the Eagles a lot. I do feel for those guys and their performance and them. Drew putting his body on the line and still getting swept. I still
I feel for him.
Feel for those
unnecessarily.
Guys too.
Yeah, I get it.
Can I comment about that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I definitely don't feel guilty about it because, once again, I'm not the one who jumped over the fence into the picnic table. But just the irony of the situation, because Drew, we've seen him now before that series. I want to say at least twice in the last 2 years, he's sailed over the fence on a ball that he had no shot at catching, right?
Definitely, yeah.
I think so, Jack.
Totally unnecessary.
I believe Waylon in game 2 led off with a home run in a right center that Drew was in the vicinity of. And it was close to being robbable. And so then everyone at the field is like, Drew, of all times to jump, you're not going to jump at that one? He's like, I didn't think I had a shot. I'm like, that was way more robbable than the ones you usually jump for that are feet and yards away. And then later that day, someone hits a bomb over his head and he leaps over again, not knowing the picnic table is there. Guy's lucky he didn't break a bone. And so, I was like, God, maybe I shouldn't have said anything about him jumping over the fence again. But I don't think he did that for my amusement. I think it's just Drew being Drew, which we see often.
Yeah,
we see always. It's ever present.
And he would never say anything, and nobody at the field was really saying anything. But Drew was definitely hurting.
Oh, he was hurting so bad.
Yeah,
he was legit hurt.
He was feeling it. He wasn't talking. He was keeping to himself. He was limping off camera a lot.
Yes,
but he kept to himself.
The funny thing is, when I watch that, you can't really see the picnic table on the first view that you see. Mm-hmm. You can't see the picnic table, but when he jumped over the fence, I've played enough at the Meadows. I've been there enough to know where that picnic table sits. Mm-hmm. And I could see how far he jumped over the fence. And in my mind, I'm like, he smoked that picnic table. There's no way he didn't smoke that picnic table.
It's not even funny. I shouldn't laugh.
Yeah. And then you kind of get the zoom in angle and you see he indeed did smoke that picnic table.
Well,
I felt terrible.
If you want to show it, he's not that far from catching that ball. I'm not vouching for him in any means.
No, he's really not.
He's probably within 3 to 4 inches of that ball.
I hit it, and I was like, let's go. And then I'm like, oh no, he's gonna catch it. Then he landed, and I was like, let's go. Oh, he's hurt. That's not
the
good.
ball landed on the other side of the picnic table. So call me crazy. There's no picnic table there, and his body gets to keep going. Maybe.
I'm gonna pleasantly decline that.
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
To clarify that is within the rules of an out. If he has no part of his body,
part of your body's got to be in the field of play. Part of your body's got to be.
So even if he caught it, it would have.
Unless he had an ankle draped over the fence.
Unless his foot hardly.
Unless he toe tapped.
Yeah.
Okay. He toe tapped like an all-pro wide receiver.
Blade can probably attest to this. RJ, the first thing I tell the new players at the field is please, here are the safety precautions here. Please don't hurt yourself playing. Please do not hurt yourself playing. And Drew,
please do not dive headfirst into the picnic table.
I make one joking comment to Drew, are all things you're not going to jump after that one? And the next time he just sails his body over. I'm like, all right, I'm not saying anything from now on.
So it could have been your fault, is what you're saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel guilty about it because he should know better. But at the same time, it's like, God, did I poke the bear a little bit there? I mean, Drew's not the guy I should be making jokes with about that kind of stuff.
No,
I should know better.
Right.
He should know better, and I should know better.
He definitely hurt himself on that one, though. You could tell.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Even the people around asking him, hey, Drew, you all right? He's just, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
No, I kept in contact with him throughout that next week. He was pretty swollen. He continued to ice it. I don't think he ever went to the hospital or anything. So I think he's all 100% now. I should text him again. But every couple of days there, I was checking in, and he's okay. Mm-hmm. So
folded like a lawn chair.
Won't be long now till he jumps over again and hurts himself again. But for now, he's back.
Right.
He's back to 100% health as far as I know.
One thing I do want to say on this series, just as a whole, obviously feel for the Cobras being swept. I mean, biasly, I don't really mind seeing the Cobras lose, if I'm being honest. But
me too, Jack.
I feel like I have to give the Eagles some kudos because we've seen Barron. He did it a lot last year, especially at the end of the year, where he kind of got himself in some jams and just sort of buckled down and was able to get out of them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the Cobras have sort of been flirting with disaster for a while. And the Eagles really we talk about execution on this podcast a lot. And I feel like the Eagles did that. They didn't let the Cobras off the hook where in, previous series, the Cobras would find themselves in similar situations and someone would bail them out. Sawyer would bail them out or Barron would bail them out.
I
so
agree.
I just wanted to give kudos to the Eagles there because I think they didn't really leave anything out on the table, and that was really like what gave them, that was what propelled them to 3 wins.
Yeah, right out of the gate there, Jack. First game, first inning, they have the bases loaded and Dallas grand slam. But like you said, in past innings and past seasons, we've seen Barron work out of those bases loaded jams time and time again.
You almost expect it.
You do.
You almost
You do.
expect him to walk the first 2 and then get 3 people out.
Yeah, he was definitely. You saw it a little bit in the video, but at the Meadows, he was definitely visibly frustrated. Couldn't find the zone there to start the series off, which is not like Barron. He's usually a pretty accurate guy. I noticed too his command was a little bit different than what I've seen in the past. I don't recall his stuff, especially the drop ball. It was really tailing towards hitters in the series. I noticed on camera where I feel like usually it's more north and south. So I would think that would actually play against the hitters because it's not what we're used to seeing from the guy. But the Eagles seem to be squaring it up.
It was anything that started middle in was a ball
coming in.
Yeah.
So speaking of command, Blade, I wanted to ask you about your command on the mound. And even before that, I want to just say, between the months of September of 2022 and April of 23, were you like physically or mentally preparing yourself at all to be a pitcher this season in MLW? Because you've kind of found yourself a number 2 role here.
Yeah. So like before I got hurt, my first year in MLW, which I didn't really, I was too busy with baseball.
2021.
Yeah. Okay. I was kind of like, I can pitch. And then once I got hurt, I told myself, like, if I were to ever throw a wiffle ball again, it'd be in the league, but I'm never going to pitch in the league, so I'm not going to pitch a wiffle ball again. And then, I'd throw to, like, Dallas a little bit before series, like, just to replicate, some other dudes, just kind of get them, an angle, and which I wasn't really throwing hard. I was probably throwing, like, 70%. And then I was, like, at Detroit, I told Dan, I was like, I can do it. Like, I can go on the mound, I can throw a strike. Like, I'll get us out of here. It won't be, who knows how pretty it'll be, but I'll get us out of here. And the week before, me and Dallas had like been tossing around a wiffle ball.
Week before Detroit or week before Cobras?
Week before Detroit. We had tossed around a wiffle ball at his party, and I found like a little drop, which I never had.
Nice.
And then I kind of started to throw that, and it was working. And then so I had like 1 or 2 pitches, and I started after the Detroit series. I worked on it a little bit. Tried to find some more pitches, and I'm still working on it to try to find the right pitches that'll help me succeed. But to be honest, I really wasn't prepared. But I guess now I am.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a good way of learning.
It is. Yeah, right into the fire.
Right.
Throw them in.
Just throw them in the pool, see if they can swim.
Exactly.
Right?
Well said.
Yeah.
Quickest way to learn.
Or die trying.
Yeah, right.
Or die. Quickest way to be cut too. That's the other thing. Yeah, I can pitch for sure, no doubt.
Always say yes if someone asks, can you pitch? The answer is yes.
It was either sink or swim.
Yes.
There was no choice there.
That was sink or swim.
Yeah.
But you're swimming right now.
Yeah.
Maybe you're doggy paddling a little bit, but you're staying above the water.
I'm just staying afloat.
That's all you need to do. And when you guys are hitting like you have in that last series, that's all you need to do is keep it afloat.
Especially when you have Dallas throwing 2 games a series, that really helps.
Yeah, the Dallas Allen we saw against the Cobras, 100%.
So you were able to get your first win in your career, which is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was the word from manager Dan Schultz sort of after the series as far as like your performance, but also sort of looking ahead for the Eagles? Like, what can we expect out of your guys' bullpen?
He was really excited just because we needed a win, and luckily I just caught Cobras on a bad day and I got it done. It's easy to do when your team's keeping the moral up and we're flying high. But I know after the series he was really happy. I know while they were doing a little talking, we were out in the outfield dancing a little bit, having a little bit of fun, enjoying it. But it was really fun, and I don't really know what his plan is going forward. But I know with Landon coming back, there's a lot of confidence. That gives us a 4th hitter who can really do something. It's no question that our 4th spot has been questionable all year, and that the 4th spot is me and Carson. So it's been a little questionable, which Carson, he's young. It'll come around for him. Just take some time. And for me, it's just I wasn't seeing it well so far. Slowly, I'm getting back into the swing of things. But slowly I've just been
Another good
getting
pun.
better. And so I think with Landon coming back,
Jack's cracking me up with his little one-liners there.
we had a couple good
This
puns
virtual
on this pod
one-liners.
so far.
yeah, when Landon comes back though, I really have a lot of confidence in our squad, and be excited to see what we can do.
So, are you telling us that post All-Star break in your first series back against the Gators, Landon Yurgaites will be in the lineup? Is that what I'm hearing?
I am going to be honest, I have no idea. I'm assuming
You're assuming so.
because he's playing with up in Bay
Should
City,
never
so
assume.
Well, we're not going to jump to any conclusions then, but the streets are saying that Landon's back, folks, which, if true, kind of massive for the Eagles. I can't lie. Ryan, what were your thoughts on this series overall? What did you see as a viewer?
Well, I couldn't be happier, Tom.
I know you couldn't be happier. The Preds.
Yeah, the Preds
Yes.
needed it. We needed it bad. We got a little bit of life from that, but
Did that jumpstart you guys a little bit, maybe in the team group chat or something?
the boys
Yeah?
were fired up. Ward was fired up. To see a text that say the Cobras got swept.
Okay.
But there's been a lot of sweeps this year. So
There has.
It's kind of different for MLW. Usually teams find a way to squeak out one, but a lot of teams have gotten swept. Us included, the Eagles included. So it was good to see. I was very much impressed by Blade's performance on the mound. I was very impressed by that home run Dallas had. Was that game one? That one he launched?
bomb.
Oh
game
my
one,
God.
yeah, that was the second one.
Yeah,
of the
I was
game.
running the Instagram live, so I had a perfect launch angle of that. That was crazy.
People were talking, all the players that were there, because that home run was actually hit prior to my Philadelphia home run, the first one.
Right, yep.
And so then right when I hit that, like you were saying, like, I don't know, Tom, do you think that was as high as Dallas's was at the Meadows? It's so hard to gauge at a different location.
Yeah.
I will say, no doubt, Dallas's was an over the scoreboarder.
Oh,
100%.
100%,
It was
yeah.
a nuke.
Yeah.
It might
I
have
was
been farther
at
than mine.
both of those, and I think they're both pretty close. I mean, yours looked so crazy because it cleared
It's
the
just,
scoreboard.
yeah, it's the perception
and,
of it. It's
yeah.
totally the perception
So
of it.
yeah, I mean, if you put that on the Meadows, I really don't know. I think they'd be pretty close, though. I mean, you got a hold of that first one.
Ryan, do you think Dallas's at Wayne State would have gone over?
That's another question, yeah. I personally
know.
don't think so.
I don't think it would have.
Here's my reasoning why. I think if he puts that same ball to dead center, I think we can have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
But with the way the field got so deep at the corners and like it didn't curve at all, I feel like it wouldn't have got over.
Yeah. Well, I made this argument at Wayne State, and then Tom made me look like an idiot.
Why?
But
What
when
did
I
say?
said we have to move it back so you can
Yeah,
hit the ball.
that was such a bad. tell
To
the
move it
people.
back.
Tell the people what you told me at Wayne
So
State.
I said that you had to move home plate back so you could launch it up, because with the speed and the trajectory, you wouldn't be able to get it up high enough that quick. You'd have to be able to go up slowly like this. That way, it'd have to go straight up at Wayne State. In my head, it made so
Slowly.
much sense. It still makes a little more sense, but
I think we might have one home run ever at the Meadows that would have gone over Wayne State.
Who do you think it was?
It was off me. It was Nick Saylor in the ALDS game 1 last year. He hit a home run. We were already winning by a bunch, but he hit a home run. I've never seen a whiff of ball go
Really?
that high.
I have to go back and watch this then.
Yeah, go check it out. Definitely higher than Dallas's for sure. It didn't go as far, but it definitely had the height.
I hit one a mile high last year against the Cobras off of Sawyer, but it definitely wouldn't have cleared Wayne State because it wasn't deep enough at all. But Wayne State, that was a tall task.
Yeah, that's a big fence.
Pun intended. That was a tall task.
Rudy Ramirez has been over that wall a few times, but
Rudy
not
has,
with
yes,
football.
with a baseball, not with a football.
I could maybe match Blade's potentially dumb statement with an even dumber question.
okay, guys.
Do you guys think, like, when you play in a stadium like that, for example, the Wayne State one, or like the Shangri-La that has a tall wall, or even like having that scoreboard at Philly, do you think even maybe just subconsciously you're changing your swing to almost like try to hit it over? Like, if that makes like, because I feel like when Robles hit his over the wall
Oklahoma.
at Shangri-La, in Oklahoma, he was like, that was his mission, was to like hit it over the wall. Like, he was definitely going to hit it over the wall.
I think
He
it
did
was.
swing up.
Well, Jack, I think I talked about this last week a little bit, and I said candidly, in Oklahoma, that kind of was my mission too. I wanted to launch one over the monster there, or just hit a home run in general. But I can honestly say, Jack, at least I think, maybe subconsciously, but I don't think so. In Philly, I was really just taking a simple approach. I was not trying to launch anything over anything. And you could probably tell, like, wasn't like I pimped that home run off of Ryan that I hit in that first inning. It was like I swung, I looked up, and I'm like, oh, that's going to go a long way. Like, I was just as surprised.
Well, the minute it left my hand, I knew it was going.
Did you?
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I put a good swing on it. But
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, at Wayne State, like, it was.
you couldn't even try to hit
No,
that.
we were all talking. It was like the there was no way. So I feel like that doesn't really change your swing. It more thinks of, I'm never going to swing for the fences because there's no way I'm going to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense if you use like a golf analogy. It's almost like the swings where you swing easier are the ones that you flush it. You know what I mean? It was probably the same for you in Philly, Tom.
I think it was.
Where you were just taking a simple approach and swinging easy, and it happened to just be an absolute nuke.
The one swing
Thanks, Jack.
The hardest. Hey, you got to call a spade, man.
Right. No, you're right.
Hey, we're all about honesty on the Pipe It Up pod.
Like you said.
Already.
Yeah, like you said.
I think the hardest swing I took in Philly was a ball that I ended up hitting into the ground. So yeah, that was the first time I made contact the whole day, and the mission was to not hit a home run. It was definitely to square it up, but I hit it, I felt it felt good, and then I started to run. I look up, and it's like, oh, that thing's gonna go over the scoreboard. It was not the plan. I didn't think it was actually possible to do that until after I did it.
I didn't either.
And then I did it again, and I did it again.
True.
Right, let's relax.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, any final comments you want to make, Blade, on the series? I mean, you guys played great. There was so many balls in play, honestly, on both sides.
Yeah.
Your defense helped you a lot on the mound.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That last out was pretty exhilarating.
Yeah, I gave Zach a hug after that one. I was a little scared. Yeah, no. Like you said, a lot of balls in play. That's kind of been our whole story. A lot of foul balls this year, which the Cobras caught the short end of the stick on that one in that series. They hit a lot of foul balls.
They did.
Oh, I want to talk about that actually a little bit. I don't want to cut you off if you have more to say, but the Barron foul ball, the review we did. You see that, Jack, in the video?
I don't recall.
It was in the first or second game.
I was in the first game.
Barron sliced one down right field, and he started yelling like "fair," like as the ball touched near the line.
Yes.
We played it out and then reviewed it. And I got to give props to the commissioner on this one. So I was not really like the lead umpire here in this series. I was behind the second camera. I didn't have a shot of it at all. So the call on the field was fair. And then Kyle takes a look at it, and he's just looking through the little tiny, 4-inch by 2-inch window on the Canon camera. And he's like, I think that one's a hair foul. I can see a ball length in between the line and the ball. I'm kind of looking from the side, and I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of a bold one to overturn. I don't know if I can really see much there. But when you looked at the GoPro in the video, it made the final edit. It was a pretty clear foul ball.
Definitely.
Impressive overturn there, I got to say.
Yeah.
That was a good call.
Because Barron seemed so confident as a hitter, which maybe, things can deceive you while you're running down the line, and it probably looked like it caught some chalk, but I think it was clearly a foul ball.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised how clear it was in the replay.
So was I. That's what I'm saying.
Like to me, obviously Barron covered it when he was running because I was under the tent, but to me, I was like, oh, that's foul, just because I was hoping. But when I watched it and in the video, I was like, wow, that was clearly foul.
So yeah, that was a tough break for the Cobras. The line out to end game 2 was a tough break for the Cobras. Drew getting hurt in the middle of the series was a tough break, even though that was somewhat in their control. I guess that picnic table placement was not in Drew's favor. But the Cobras dug themselves a bit of a hole, so they are now 3-6 at the break. If I think I'm correct there. And then you guys are 2-7, so the door is now creaked open for the Preds.
She's open.
Those two have a date with destiny here in the second half of the season. That one's always a doozy.
It's gonna be huge tilt.
It's gonna be an absolutely massive tilt, barn burner.
Yep.
College game day will be there.
Yep.
It'll be the prime time game for sure.
Yeah.
That's the Sunday night game, right?
That's Michigan Ohio State, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is for sure. I think it's the last slate of the year too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. Gosh.
We gotta get like a stuffed head of some sort of big cat predator and like a snake that Tom can pick before. That would be great.
Jack,
content.
I think you should do it. I think you should come up.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Well, Tom, he better pick the Preds. He's a Pred at heart.
Jack is a Pred at heart, but then
we'll just have to wait and see,
fast.
won't we?
Yeah.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
Cobra.
He'll almost put it on, then throw it off and put on the Cobra.
I'm gonna
way too early.
Have to go.
Way too early prediction, Jack. Go. Cobras Preds.
Way too early prediction.
Yeah, premature prediction.
I'm gonna go with my boys to bounce back here. I got faith in the reigning MVP Ryan Kracht.
Appreciate that.
At least notch out a series win. I don't think it'll be a sweep, but I think it'll be competitive all 3 games, and the Preds eke one out 2-1.
Right, and the Cobras got to face some magic coming up in St. Louis.
Cobras have a tough second half.
Yeah,
here.
that's something you got to get used to. I mean, people don't understand what it's like to face RJ Walgate until you truly do it. I mean, you'll get a taste of it in that All-Star game. It's weird.
Yeah, I got a taste.
Yeah. It's
I
weird.
put my lips to it. Facing RJ Walgate.
I mean, he's throwing from 10 feet away.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Yeah.
When the first pitch I saw, I was like, geez, that's close to me. And it's so high.
Yeah.
Holy
It's
smokes.
hard enough. It's hard enough to hit it from like 36 feet, and then you have to hit it from 25.
Yeah,
It makes
exactly.
It makes it even harder.
Exactly.
Yeah, after my first at bat, I in between innings, I was chatting with Davenport, who filmed it during the All-Star game. I shouldn't say too much, but I'm giving you guys the inside scoop like I always do. And he's like, with the phone, he's watching back the footage. He's like, he's releasing it from the front of the turf. I was like, dude, I know it's on me instantly.
every
I can barely
time.
see the ball.
Yeah.
But
It's brutal.
it's brutal for sure.
We hit him off U-whiffs and with the big barrels, and it was we still couldn't hit him.
Yeah, you and RJ faced each other before MLW. That's right.
Yeah.
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 Who knew that Slender Man would be pretty good? On that one?
Dude, it's like, it's RJ. It's Randy Johnson.
We're going to have to shoot Wembanyama a DM the Preds over the offseason.
Dude, imagine a 7-footer in MLW.
You could probably touch the zone.
Yeah, it would be stupid.
We'd have to change the rule.
Maybe we need to have like the speed limit should change based on your height. Like for RJ, we should do an adjusted speed limit for
Or just
every
make
single
him pitch
guy.
off the back of the mound.
Yeah, back him up or something.
Yeah.
Jeez. it's just
I
so
think
tall.
I think he's doing fine. I think he's doing fine.
But Ryan, you mentioned St. Louis. Wanted to plug tickets on sale now. We have a lot of tickets. We're well into 3 figures sold. So hope to see a bunch of you guys out there in a few weeks. My final comments. First of all, way too early prediction. I got Cobs 2-1, and reason being, it's the mental game, Jack. I've been high on Sawyer all year, even though he hasn't played that good. Did hit a homer against the Eagles there, but I think he mentally thinks he's like so good against the Predators that's going to translate into another Cobras victory.
That's a fair point.
That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Pred sweep.
That's my justification. Preds sweep.
Until Russell pimps one off of him.
That's true, but no, that just feeds the kid. He likes that.
Yeah, he
Feeds
likes
Sawyer.
it. Yeah. It's almost better for
he
him.
likes getting home runs pimped off.
If
Well,
Russell
no,
pimps
but
it, it's just gonna put that chip on his shoulder.
It just fires him up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's an interesting cat. He's young.
Yeah.
But let's get into this week's comment of the week. Comes from Matthew, and he said, "There are so many sweeps this season." Eye emoji. It's been a very unique season and entertaining to watch. Right when I thought the Eagles and Predators were both losing hope towards playoff contention, the Eagles opened the door for both themselves and the Predators, giving both teams better odds of making the playoffs. Both of which I already counted out until the Eagles found the Cobras as prey for the Predators to finish what's left. That's why I made the comment of the week. The last sentence there, beautifully written.
Yeah.
Literature right there.
Right. The Preds are definitely trying to finish the job on the Cobs coming up.
Job.
I mean, a lot has to happen. We've got a big series against the Cats. They got a big series against the Magic, so it's all interdivision. So,
No, I think what's cool in the AL heading into the All-Star break now, for at least, we know the Cats and the Magic are on top regardless of what happens in their series next week. But for you guys in the bottom, Preds and the Cobras, both control your own destiny heading into the second half. You're going to play each other head-to-head, and may the best man win.
Yeah, and if the Preds squeak in, don't count us out. The D-backs did it last year. We'd love to make a run. I think that weren't the D-backs 2-7.
The D-backs were 2-7. Yeah.
D-backs 2-7. We're 2-7.
World Series champ.
Yeah, come on. Why not? Right?
Crazier things have happened.
Why not?
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
Blade, another question for you before we wrap up. So are you actually working on anything now? What have you learned from your pitching performances, and what are you working on now to get better at?
I'm trying to work on some other arm angles to work in some other pitches, but definitely gonna throw strikes. The thing I learned about with the Cobras, which I kind of caught them on a bad day, so it was a lot easier.
Did you, or were you just that good?
I caught them on a bad day.
I mean,
I don't know.
They didn't play their best, but I don't think they were bad by any means. I mean, they,
just like you guys hitting off RJ. I mean, yeah, you had a bad day, but RJ's also very good.
Yeah, right.
It's the same thing.
And any new arm into the league is.
Am I comparing Blade Walker to RJ Walgate?
Please don't.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But you did pretty good. You can't be too mad at not preparing in the offseason, getting thrown into the pool, like Ryan said, and getting yourself a win in your first start. It's pretty special.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you're now viewing yourself as a pitcher, it sounds like. You're preparing the Gators.
Yeah, I mean, I like pitching. Pitching's fun. Cool. One thing I definitely learned is I was messing around too much. I'd get up. I'd have
playing with your food.
Yeah. Even when I'd get to
can't do
anywhere
that.
from 0-2 to 2-2, I'd be trying to throw in something I can't throw for a strike. So I've been trying to work in a pitch that I can, count on in that count, but also, trying to maintain my top pitches and really dominate the zone is my goal next series.
Has it changed your perception a lot of MLW? Because it's definitely a different experience pitching versus just hitting only. For me now, it's so chill just hitting, whereas it's a stressful ball game when you're out there pitching. I got DH'd for when I pitched, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of
I kind of like hitting as well, just because it brings like you have an energy with you on the mound, takes you to the plate. And if you, if you have a bad inning, you'll give up a couple runs, have some bad pitches, whatever, you can kind of make it up for yourself. And so, I didn't really experience that aspect, and it worked, so it'll probably stay the same. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed pitching. It was fun, and it's been a while since I pitched in wiffle ball. So
we're kind of seeing a theme here from the new young pitchers. With Blade and Trey Flood, RJ. They're kind of all good examples. just pure strike throwers. Yeah, kind of to the point where the hitters are playing defense in a sense of where they've got to foul pitches off so they don't strike out. Trey, Blade, RJ. They don't. Well, RJ's a little bit different, but they don't have the craziest stuff. Like there's no 2013 Tommy Coughlin gypsy drop in there, but they've got the pitches that they can throw for strikes consistently, and that's kind of what we struggled with Trey.
God, if this is a video game, we could import the 2017 Tommy Coughlin into the modern day rosters of MLW. How do we think that guy's doing? I really don't know. I don't know. I'm being serious. I think he'd do well.
I think he's doing well.
In my heart, I think he does well too, but I think some guys in the league think otherwise. I think I was just getting easy outs off of easy hitters, which was the case against some teams, but I also think I beat some very good teams. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think?
I got a little taste of that version of Tommy Coughlin back when I was an Eagle.
I think all the Preds got the butt end of Tommy Coughlin.
Well, I was,
you were an Eagle.
I was an Eagle at the time, so we got both sides. You
did. You did for sure.
Blade, if you are looking for like an 0-2 sort of sweeping hook that may or may not spike into the ground a few feet before the strike zone, just let me know, and I'll give you a great tutorial.
It sounds like Borda talking to me. It's the same thing.
Jack, next time I see you, we have to make the cook tutorial. I feel like it just has to happen. I know we have limited time together, and when we're together, we're usually working, but I feel like we need to give the people what they want. You know what I mean? It can't be a secret for much longer, can it?
It's a very valuable pitch to have in your arsenal when, used at the right time. That's all I'll say.
Okay. That's all you need to say, Jack. You shouldn't say any more. If you said any more, you should charge for it.
That's right.
But Blade, I gotta say, is the Eagles' morale back? Are you guys back? Like back World Series title on the horizon, that kind of stuff? How much has the morale changed since from the Detroit series to this?
I don't think we're World Series looking yet. Okay. I know we're definitely up.
Humble.
But last year we were already looking forward to it. Like I remember being in Georgia when the SoFi news released, and we were like, all right, let's go. Let's make SoFi. And it's like we just lost in the DS. So I think it's more looking forward to the series in front of us. Got a big series coming up, and it'll be exciting to see how it goes. I know somebody, I'm not going to name any names, sent a Mrs. Doubtfire sweeping emoji to our GIF to our Eagles group chat as a funny joke. So that was spirits were definitely up.
I love Mrs. Doubtfire, for the record. Great movie.
Great movie.
But Blade, I appreciate you coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
Ryan's definitely sick of me, guys. Ryan helped me out on Saturday night. He was with me all day yesterday at the All-Star Day.
Tom, we had a really good time.
We had a good time. You made my life a lot better on Saturday.
On screen, I need the trust picture of the back of the bracket.
Oh, my God.
Me and Tom spent, and shout out to Morgan, my girlfriend, for cutting and helping us out. We spent a lot of time on Saturday night getting the bracket board together.
It was pretty quick.
Yeah, but we turned on a few movies.
We did.
Yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it personally.
If it wasn't for Ryan, I would have been up to probably 4 a.m. on Saturday. So I appreciate Ryan answering the phone and coming.
And if it wasn't for Morgan, we would have been there till probably at least 1:32, cutting out those names.
Everyone played their role, and it came together. Absolutely beautiful, remarkable piece of equipment we built. I must say. I'm not going to show you the front of the bracket yet, but you'll see the truss in the back.
Yeah, you can see the back.
The truss. But yeah, great All-Star Day. I'm sure we'll have someone involved in that game and the Derby as well back on the pod at some point to discuss, because I know you guys are probably getting antsy hearing about me and Ryan's little banter back and forth about it. But it was successful. We had a couple fans come out. Thank you to those people. Someone from North Carolina. Shout out to Paul Rubino. Shout out to you. Big fan.
Shout out to Paul.
Other upcoming stuff, guys. I already kind of plugged St. Louis. We as in the MLW All-Stars, will be at the NWLA tournament that is near Pittsburgh. That is this weekend. On the 16th, Sunday, we're actually hosting a formal meet and greet that Ryan and I will both be in attendance at, along with the rest of our MLW All-Stars roster. So if you're in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, want to come out, meet the guys, watch some whiffs, tickets are on sale now. That'll be on MLWwiffleball.com. So check that out. Besides that, thanks again to the squad for joining me today. Ryan Kracht has the biggest head in the league. Brendan Jorgensen has the smallest head in the league. We'll see you guys next week.